Hi guys, welcome to Anywhere But Here 24/7. I'm your host, Fly Girl TW, and this week guys we're going to go over steps 4 through 7 of planning your most perfect vacation. So, as always, I have a lot of information to go over with you, so I'll give you a moment or two to grab coffee, paper, and pen if you want to jot some notes down. So, come right back. Guys, just to get a little bit of housekeeping out of the way, don't forget that if you don't have supplies or pen and paper around, that I will make sure that I provide you with what we went over today at the end of this video. And as always, you can join or go to anywherebuthere.com. You can also email me at travelanywherebuthere.com if you have any, just in case you have any questions that I might not have. So, if you are ready, I'm ready. Let's get started with step 4. So guys, our fourth step in planning the most perfect vacation is to determine your length of stay. Now your length of stay is going to depend on several different factors, and I won't be covering them all here today in this episode, but just to kind of get the wheels turning in your mind. You want to make sure that you have enough paid time off or time off at your place of employment. If you plan on taking your children with you, you want to make sure that either it's a good time for school. Some schools frown upon taking children out of, so that's between you and the school, but it is also something to take into consideration when identifying your length of stay. Another thing you want to consider is your expendable cash. So how much money do you have to get away with when you're getting away? So step number 4. Identify or determine your length of stay. So moving on to step 5, talking about expendable cash. Step 5 is to calculate your budget. So think about where you're going. Think about who's going and what your financial obligation may be to that particular individual. For example, parents taking their children's, or one relative, fitting the bill for another relative. So think about those things. Some things that you want to consider, guys, when identifying the appropriate amount of money that you want to take is going to be your food, your non-alcoholic and alcoholic beverages, local transportation. So as soon as you arrive, how are you getting to the place where you've chosen your accommodations? Is that going to be taxi? Is it going to be some sort of bus service? Is it a shuttle because your accommodation provides shuttle? You also want to take into consideration meals. So are you someone, when you're at home, that eats breakfast, lunch, and dinner? If so, can you afford to do that while on vacation? Do you plan on going to any kind of specialty or high-end restaurants? So take all those things into consideration, as well as You do spas and tours and things like that. So calculate all those things together. My recommendation, don't limit it. Calculate your potential expenses. Plane, train, bus, automobile, cruise ship. Those are all some methods, which happen to be step 6, guys. So determine what your method. The two most popular choices by far are car rides and plane rides. Obviously, depending on where you're going, a plane ride might be a more convenient, more efficient way of getting there. You allow someone else the responsibility of getting you safely to point A and point B. But when you're driving, you take on that responsibility your own. So also, this is going to play into how many people are going, whether they're of age to travel and kind of share that responsibility. Those are the two primary methods. There's also cruising. Once you get to where you're going, unless you happen to live in a city that houses cruise ships, some of the most popular cruise ships like Carnival and Royal Caribbean, you may not have to worry about a plane ride, but just on how you're going to get from here to there. Cruise ship is a fantastic option, and I'll go over those a little bit later in another series. Some other options that's for you is going to be bus. There's several high-profile bus companies: Greyhound, Megabus, especially if you're going on shorter excursions. You also want to take into consideration train. Lots of people are getting back into riding trains. They tend to give you time to think while you're getting to your destination, so certainly keep trains in mind. Got it? Good. Our 7th and final step for this week is for you to choose your accommodation. We're getting close, guys. Choose your accommodation. This is a really exciting one. But like some of the other steps, it can be overwhelming if you don't know where to go because you've never been there. No stress, no fuss, no worry. I've got you. So there are some options. You obviously have hotels and resorts, guys, are options. The resort atmosphere may include a casino, may include tons of bars and eateries or restaurants. It may also include some of the high-end shopping that you're used to, as well as large or multiple pools. Choose a 3+ star rating. And also, check with some of your friends and relatives who have gone to this particular destination. Ask them where they've stayed and what their experiences are. Or check out some of the reviews from other guests from past trips that they've had at that particular accommodation. So, we've got motels, we've got hotels and resorts. Got that cruise ship again, all in one. So just options for you. You may not run into them too much in the United States, but there are some B&Bs or bed and breakfast, and those provide you really with kind of a hometown feel. They're usually run by a couple or an owner of the B&B, which is like the format of a house, and it may have 5 or 6 bedrooms in it and guests in all the bedrooms. You may share a communal space like a living room, bathrooms, things like that. But depending on what kind of traveler you are, that may be your thing. So take into consideration beds and breakfast. They also tend to be less expensive than hotels and resorts, and may also include some meals with your stay. If you're in other countries, hostels or HOSTELS, those are extremely popular. They are traveler who would rather spend their expendable cash on seeing the sights, enjoying the culture, and not on a 5-star hotel. So hostels are also really great options for you if you're willing through. Length of stay. We've talked about calculating your cost for the entire trip. We even talked about how you're going to get there and what options are available for you. And we just completed the type of accommodations. The choices are endless, and while it can be scary, I'm hoping that you have a little bit of excitement in the planning stages of it. This is Fly Girl TW, guys, signing out for this week's edition of 24/7. Please check out anywherebuthere.com as well as email me. I'll have all that information at the end of the video, and I will see you next week for steps 8 through 11. Take care.